not that good in certain phases of the game, but he continued to work hard. That's what is love for everybody here. And then, we can see his quality, we can see his intelligence on the pitch and the contribution he's having to the pitch. So obviously very happy with him.
So Arsenal's playing Brentford this weekend, and I'm quite optimistic. I think that we will win this match, but I've got a slight doubt in the back of my mind how much we will win by. I'm not going to say we're going to win like 4-0, 5-0. Initially, I was saying 4-0, but recent, I've been thinking perhaps even 2-1, honestly. The reason being, everyone's been saying that this should be a walkover for Arsenal because of how Brentford has been playing and how they've been dropping points, a lot of points of recent. As a matter of fact, they've been only won 2 matches in their last 10. And for Brentford, you know that Brentford is always this team that always pose a difficult challenge, a threat for the big teams. But this season, it's like we're seeing a different Brentford. But I think that Brentford will change, especially in the last half. Brentford has been different. The way they're so easy to beat, they're so easy to play against. But I think against Arsenal, Brentford is going to be coming firing. I think they're going to be coming on their A game. And one of the reasons is they've got back one of their main guy. They've already got Ivan Toney, but it's not just Ivan Toney. They've got Wissa, and they've got one of their main guy back, and that's Mbuemo. Mbuemo, I believe that when Mbuemo got injured, that was the decline, or the further decline, I should say, because when Mbuemo got injured, they didn't have Wissa for a few games, and they didn't have Ivan Toney. But when these three are together, they're unstoppable going forward. Another possibility of them declining is because they miss Pinnock. Now, Pinnock has been their best defender for the past 2 seasons or so. Now, to be missing Pinnock and to be missing Mbuemo, you understand why they're playing like this. But if they get Mbuemo back, perhaps they will start picking up form, and hopefully it's not against us. So this is why I'm skeptical that we won't win as much as we were winning. But then again, I watched what Mbuemo was saying. Mbuemo was saying he's a few weeks off. So even though he's back in training today, That's why I'm kind of. But even though he's back in training today, he's still saying that he needs about 2 weeks to get match fitness. But you never know with these teams, these coaches, these managers. They'll throw them in at the deep end depending on how he's been training. And I saw the clip of him in training. He looked sharp. And Mbuemo looked sharp. And you remember when they played against us, and Mbuemo was the one that was giving us the problems. He was giving us problems. He was closing down the keeper, Ramsdale. Ramsdale was nervous. He was closing down our defence. He got 2 shots on goal. One of the shots, if he had just calmed down and relaxed, that could have possibly been a goal because he was in a good position. So Mbuemo being back is a big thing for them. Now, we're going to take a listen to what Mikel Arteta have to say in the press conference.
Right, Saturday. Good start. What's the team news ahead of that one?
Not much. We had got some players back last Monday, sorry. And then we had Martinelli and Bukai with little issues. We have to be positive that hopefully they can be part of that, but we'll have to wait and see how they do.
Well, that's a very big thing right there. We see that Saka is back, could be back potentially. We see Martinelli could be back potentially. So that's good news so far. In terms of injury, we see that Thomas Partey is coming back, Timber is coming back. We saw some clips in training, as you can see in training, that Timber is back in training. Trossard is here, Jesus is here. So really and truly, I think Zinchenko is the only player that's really out, and Zinchenko will soon be back. So yeah, apart from Zinchenko, I'm struggling to think of any other player that's out right now, but we don't really need Zinchenko. I know that Tomiyasu is injured, but Tomiyasu, I think, is that type of player that is always going to get a knock, but that knock could potentially make him be out for a longer time. So Tomiyasu's injury is not a long-term injury, so I'm not really worried about that.
Contracts. Can you tell us anything on Ben White and Tomiyasu? Are they close?
Not really, and I leave that more to Edu and the club to announce those things when the times are right.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. Was Alice from the Premier League?
Hi.
21 goals scored in the last 4 league games, just the 1 goal conceded. How satisfying are these performances for you as manager right now, and what sort of a message are they sending out to your title rivals?
Yeah, it's great because it shows obviously the quality and the consistency that the team is showing, and and then the way that we have scored those goals as well, not only the manner but as well the personnel. So it's really positive thing to see, and then the fact that we are conceding very little defensively. So those two ingredients together are very powerful to get results and to get consistency, and we want more.
Sure. So Brentford up next for you on Saturday, and victory, of course, would send you top of the league. Would it be safe to say that your players need no more motivation than to put the pressure on Liverpool and Man City to have to respond to your result on Sunday?
Yeah, we know the demands that we have. We know the demands that Brentford are going to ask us to put to win the match, and then the fact that we are still not there, and we want to be better than where we are at the moment. In order to do that, we have to continue to win.
I know you've not given much away there on your preference, but can we assume maybe that you'll be hoping to see Liverpool and City both drop points with a draw at Anfield?
Honestly, it's nothing to do with me. I will sit there with my kids and enjoy the match.
Worth a try. To have just 2 points separating the top.
Man, Arteta don't give nothing away. You know, some manager would say that, well, I'm just going to be enjoying it, but if anyone drop points, it will be beneficial to us. He ain't saying nothing, man. This guy doesn't give nothing away. Trust me, he's a master chess player. You can tell.
To keep improving and keep demanding ourselves, the weather, the temperature, some of the things that we have time to work on to improve as a team as well, and everything clicked, and then we won. We were playing good, and that helps.
Well, let me answer that for Arteta. That was a big turning point for the Arsenal. I heard Jorginho said it. I heard a few other players. I think it was Declan Rice. Even Odegaard said it. That listen, when they went on training, they needed a break. I don't know what from, because we weren't playing that much really. But they said they needed a break. So I have to take their word for it. But personally, I know that changed things. But I believe it's more than a break. I believe that the pressure was getting to them a bit, as well as I think that Arteta had the handbrakes on. So to be having the handbrakes on, playing a certain way that Mikel Arteta wants you to play, because he's a very detailed guy. He's a detailed manager. And to be playing like that, it's going to take a toll on you. So it's not the amount of games that they were playing. For I believe, what I understand, these players are saying that they needed a break. It's the amount of information they have to be retaining in a particular match. So I fully understand that sentiment to say that, listen, we needed a break. And also on that trip, they had their families with them to Dubai. They took time off training and just enjoyed themselves. So now coming back from holiday, we started to play more free-flowing football because Arteta took his hand off the handbrakes, right? And this is what we always see City do in the final half of the season. They just start going nuts. They just start running right. They took their hand off the handbrake. Pep takes his hand off the handbrakes, and they just start collecting points and start winning almost every game to the end of the season. And this is how we've been performing, and that's down to that trip. So this is what I'm saying, that we can't take Brentford lightly. We cannot take Brentford lightly. Once again, I know they've been in poor form. 2 wins in 10 matches. I know they've been in poor form. But Brentford is that team. They always come. They always find a way to spoil the party, right? So, and as what I keep saying, that man, Mbuemo is going to give them confidence. Even if he comes on in the second half, he's going to fire them up. Knowing Ivan Toney's going to be extra motivated. How can I forget Ivan Toney? He's going to be extra motivated because he wants to come to Arsenal. So he has to put on a performance to impress Arteta. Well, I remember Caicedo done the similar thing last season. Tried to impress Arsenal because he wanted to come to Arsenal. Then he got Martinelli injured because he was so gassed, he was so pumped, he want to prove a point to Arteta and prove a point to the Arsenal team. He got Martinelli injured. That's one of the reasons that messed up our season. Even though it was already going bad, that just add to it, man. So hopefully Ivan Toney don't come with any statement making plays right now. Well, let me answer that for Arteta. I've been having a conversation at work here. When I go at work, I've got an Arsenal fan. Big up yourself, Rick. I've got an Arsenal fan that this mate that we speak about Arsenal about, right? And he said that he wants Liverpool to win, and I understand the sentiment. To be fair, I'm right down the line. I'm split 50-50 because he's saying that he believes if we give if City gets a bigger point gap, then they will more than likely win it because they're more experienced and they've got a better squad and they've got a better manager. But somehow, I would say that I want City to win it because we're going to play City. And I believe that if all of us win all our matches that we don't play against each other, it could be a thing where it comes down to who beats who. And we see that we've got City to play. So even if we win all our matches and we've got City to play, if we beat City, that's we winning the Prem. So that's how I'm looking at it. I know it's a simplistic way to look at it, but that's how I'm looking at it. And that's why I'm saying that I'm in the middle right now. My preference would be a draw, ideally. But if someone was to win, I would rather City. And that's just my opinion, right? Because we're going to be playing them so we can take points from them later on down the season. But Liverpool, we've already played Liverpool. So now it's done. It's not down to us if Liverpool wins it or not. It's down to them. But when it comes down to City, it's down to us. If we allow City, it's down to us if we lose any more matches and if we allow City to beat us. So the game, the league will be in our hands in that effect.
The third season left to play. Some might say that this is the best title race we've ever seen. Would you agree with that?
Well, I can imagine that for a lot of people it's very interesting, and we want to make it very interesting, especially for us. So we have to keep going.
Hey, after the Sheffield United win, I know you spoke about the fact that the signings you made last summer are playing such a pivotal part in your current momentum. Kai Havertz, one of those, absolutely shining right now. I just wonder, how pleasing is it for you to see the impact he's having both on and off the pitch, particularly given that there were some questions asked early on when he first joined?
Yeah, it tells about his character as well, and how he has dealt with all those question marks and the attitude that he showed all the time. When things were not that good in certain phases of the game, but he continued to work hard. That's what is love for everybody here. And then, we can see his quality, we can see his intelligence on the pitch and the contribution he's having to the pitch. So obviously very happy with him.
I see the runs of lots of people apologizing right now because of how they've been treating Kai Havertz. He's got 10 GA for the season. 10 GA. Equal to Declan Rice, right? And everyone's been tooting Declan Rice as well. Now, I know that Declan Rice does more in terms of he defends as well, but so does Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz is one of our best duel winners. But I think he's our best duel winner in the team. It's between him and Jesus. And Jesus has been injured in and out of the team. So for this season, Kai Havertz has been our mainstay duel winner in our team. And we see that he can play up top and he can create chances as well. He can do some little technical passes, some little 1-2 that doesn't get him any goals and assists, and it doesn't reflect on our defensive display, but he's instrumental to the way that we play. So Kai Havertz for me, he's been a good signing. Very, very good signing.
Yeah, and on quality, another one of those summer signings, Declan Rice, enjoying his most prolific Premier League season so far, 5 goals and 5 assists. He, though, says that he wants way more than he's got right now. How contagious is that mindset among this group of players you're working with?
Yeah, that's.
By the way, I love that. Man's got 10. Declan Rice has got 10 goals and assist contribution, 5 goals, 5 assists, and he's saying he wants a lot more. That hunger. I love the hunger from these Arsenal boys.
Is amongst the team that they want to keep improving. They all believe that they have still another year or two to go, and that's good. And that's the level that we want to push them to, and we are achieving it with the majority of the players, and we have to continue to that. Thank you.
Some of them believe they've got a gear or 2 to go. Can you imagine a gear or 2 on top of 6 and 5 0? What's that? Like 12 0, 13 0, 14 0? A gear or 2, 15 0? What is Arteta talking about? If individual players believe that or collectively they can go a gear or 2 above this, how much are we talking, Arteta?
Hi Mikel, hope you're well. When you first became Arsenal manager back in 2019, when you look at the way that Arsenal are playing at the minute, is this always how you envisage your Arsenal side to play like when you first took over?
Very difficult to do it if you don't know the players that you have. At the end, you have to adapt to the players, to the quality as they have in order to play and achieve what you want to do. But I'm really satisfied with the way the team plays.
And what changes do you notice in your side this season? Do you feel they're more experienced, maybe more wiser than from what we saw towards the end of last season?
Yeah, experience is a factor. They have played more time together as well. They understand the system better. They understand the way we have to compete and the demands that we have to put to ourselves better. And then the confidence grows when results go their way and performances as well. So.
Well, first of all, we have to remember that this is his first job. Arsenal is his first job. And he's battling against two of the biggest managers in the world, the best two managers in the world. He's going toe-to-toe with them. And you might say, yes, it's his fourth season in, but you have to remember, taking over from where the club was in shambles. Most players that we had, shambles. The board, shambles. Everything in the club was rotten. He came over, he changed everything, transformed everything. And bear in mind, this is his first job as manager at a club with one of the biggest and most vocal fan base in the world. And look at the job he's doing. Now, as he said that, the players, they gel together, they bond together, so is he. He's growing as much game we play, he's growing as well. The players are growing, everyone is gelling together, everyone is growing together. So it's not just the players, he also is part of that description that he's given up about the players. He's included in that. So I love to see it.
Ourselves better and then the confidence grows when results go their way and performances as well. So.
And on Kai
Especially
Havertz,
5 and
how
6
how
nils.
key is he to the way that you want to play and the way that you want your forward players to press from the front?
Yeah, his ability obviously to occupy spaces, but as well in transition moment to exploit them. The aggression that he has in high press is really, really good. He has the physical qualities as well to play very different kind of games, and that's an attribute that we thought was going to be very positive for us.
And Arsenal legend Thierry Henry said on the TV on Monday that he can see similarities between Declan Rice and Yaya Toure. I wonder what your thoughts are on that, and maybe how many more goals Declan Rice could get going forward in the future as he tries to...
Very
Similarities between Declan Rice and Yaya. Man, you know Yaya was one of the best midfielders in the world at one point. You know that. Yaya, where he was, Barcelona and City. Where is Declan Rice? The Arsenal. It's the way they play, the way the team plays. You have to have certain kind of player. We see Yaya Toure was instrumental to Barcelona, and so it was with City. And now Declan Rice, at a younger age than what Yaya was at City, is doing bits. He's already being in the same breath being mentioned. And I think Declan Rice has the potential to surpass Yaya Toure, because Yaya Toure doesn't get a lot of goals like I believe Declan Rice will, playing in that advanced 8 / centre mid.
good players to get compared to, because Yaya was an incredible player, and what he did in this league, he was outstanding, and Declan wants more, so that's a good sign.
That's great. Best of luck Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Mikel. I was
Hi.
just wondering on Aaron. When we've seen him on the bench, he still seems very invested in what's going on the pitch, and I was just wondering.
Yes, it does.
We all
Excited
know
for
his
what's
big
going on.
personality. How big has that been for you? I guess with what was a difficult decision to, I guess, leave him on the bench at times.
Yeah, one of the toughest things is to deal with the players that they don't have in the amount of time that they deserve. And not only Aaron, but with many of those. But we have an unbelievable group of players. We try to be straight and explain things and be close to them and give them the support that we want. And then when they have the opportunity, at the end, they want to contribute to the team the best possible way. And that's what Aaron will try to do on Saturday.
In slightly different kind of theme, I was wondering, a lot of people have this concept of rest and how, I guess, gaps in between games are quite good for teams. But I was wondering, do you maybe prefer having the momentum that you may be able to build when there's a shorter period of time between games?
Well, we had a very strange schedule lately, because we have a long period after Newcastle and this game. The same happened a week or two ago, but we have adapted, and we have to have the capacity to adapt to that. It's true that now we're going to have 2 games very close to each other, and then we're going to have a big gap again after the international break to Man City. So try to plan it the right way to maximize the time that we get.
Hi.
Mikel.
Hi.
You spoke there about Aaron being left on the bench and his positive reaction to it. At Sheffield United, obviously Eddie, Reece and Neil were also left among the subs. I know there's lots of reasons why you made the subs you did that night, but when things like that happen and maybe they're not getting those opportunities, are there any fears in your mind that maybe you lose them a bit mentally going forward, or do you think they're just as switched on as they always have been?
We discussed that thing. We cannot play every player every game, you know. And those players played a few days ago against Newcastle, and they had the opportunities to do that. And now we have 5 subs. Before we had only 3, so we have another 2 players happy. You know, that's the way I take it. But you're always gonna have players that want to be involved and play. But unfortunately, it is impossible. It's nothing. It's not in our hands. It is impossible to achieve that. So they know that.
Have you pulled any of those specifically aside to say that this is what's going on? You'll get your opportunities later on if you keep sort of playing right on the training.
Yeah, but you cannot really promise anything. You know what's going to happen in a week time, in 3 or 7 days. But just, I think we have to show the compassion, and we need to feel. They need to feel that we are next to them and we understand where they are. But the reality as well is this is football.
So there you have it from the manager. The manager is quite excited, but he's also quite wary of Brentford, knowing that Brentford always pose a threat to us. We can't take them lightly, as what I said, because of Mbuemo coming back. Just Mbuemo, the Mbuemo factor, I'll call it. Also, they've got Tony, would be fired up to play against us. Wissa is always, I love the way Wissa plays, man. Or even if it's Morpay has got a history with us. So Brentford is going to be a trick. I think it's going to be one of the trickiest, apart from when we play against Porto, it's going to be one of the trickiest matches we've played in a long while. But hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we smash them 5-0, 6-0, and continue that rich scoring vein of form. And also, we can't forget that Martinelli and Saka, there's a possibility that they might not even start. There's a possibility. So this would be the lineup. It's the same team, but obviously Ramsdale's coming for Raya because of they're playing against Bradford, which is Raya's team on paper. As well as, I think Trossard may come in for Martinelli. Martinelli's got a cut. I don't think he's going to be ready to start that match, but I could be wrong. So that's what I'm saying. With things like this as well, Martinelli not playing Trossard, it's a different dimension to the team that we've been using. But we still should be able to swap Kai Havertz in the match with Trossard and let them alternate between the two. Just like what I think they done it in the match against Crystal Palace, if I'm not wrong. Or was it Burnley? But they done it in one of those matches that we won by a big scoreline, and they interchanged very well. So we still could pose a big threat in terms of the amount of goal we scored, even with Trossard playing. But hopefully we will get that result. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video, guys. Make sure you help me on my journey to 1,000 subs. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the match, what the scoreline would be, what your predicted lineup is. Catch you in the next one. Goodbye.